Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy, Boulanger. And up next, we're going to be taking a peek at a video clip from Speak for Yourself, a popular sports show, who says Lamar Jackson is out of excuses. Let's go.
Already know how good he is individually, a unanimous MVP. But now the talent around him is starting to be historically good, at least historically deep. We haven't seen a team with 5 first-round picks at wide receiver, at least all 5 of those first-round picks catch passes. We might see that for the first time in NFL history. Think about the talent, at least by draft position, Lamar Jackson has helping him out. Odell Beckham, y'all remember him, obviously. He needs no introduction. Nelson Aguilar helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl back in 2017. Laquan Treadwell, size, speed, all of it. Rashad Bateman, the Ravens just drafted him to replace Hollywood Brown a couple years back. And this year, #1 first-round pick, Zay Flowers. 5 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson, plus an all-pro tight end, a second-round pick at running back in J.K. Dobbins. Lamar's out of excuses. In my mind, he's gotten everything that he has wanted. New OC, you got it. Todd Monken. Help with wide receiver, you got it. Odell Beckham, Nelson Aguilar, Zay Flowers. Tight end, all-pro, quarterback's best friend, you got it. Mark Andrews. Running game, that needs no questions. The Ravens have one of the best running games the last 4 years, 5 years since Lamar entered the league. What else could he need?
Pause right there. You see, Archo's point is what a lot of people have hit me with, is that the Baltimore Ravens have 5 first-round wide receivers. Okay, and that sounds real good to say it out loud. It sounds real good to even have it on paper. But the fact of the matter is, when you take into consideration these 5 first-round wide receivers, you have to consider what have they done lately. You see, don't give me where they were drafted. I wanna know what they've done, because that's what I can bank on. You see, he started out his argument and said that's why I went where I went a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, when I said that the Baltimore Ravens wide receiving group is a bottom 10 group. You see, because I took into consideration what they had done lately. See, and I wanted to do that as kind of a balancer for Lamar Jackson, because I knew the media would take that approach. I knew the media would start talking the same way Archo is that Lamar Jackson has everything that he wants. See, that's not even the right statement. It's Lamar Jackson has what he needs. He finally has what he needs. And then what's going to happen is, if things go wrong, whatever that looks like, then it's going to be all Lamar Jackson, not taking into consideration the situation that he had been in and the situation he may be in this year.
What else could he want? No more excuses, not in my eyes at least. 2-5. You know these Ravens very well. You know Lamar Jackson. Y'all shared conversations before. J.K. Dobbins, you studied his tape as a running back. I think Lamar's out of excuses. You're smiling at me, which means you disagree.
I disagree. And I like how you set that whole thing, all the first rounders and all that. That don't matter. Either you can ball or you can't. And one thing I want to say about the excuses, because there's no excuse. He's in a new offense. I got a chance to meet the young first rounder, Zay Flowers.
Yep.
And I'm asking about the offense, right? I'm asking about Lamar, et cetera. He was like, Lamar, he throws the ball better than what people thought or what people think. He said, when I was in college, I didn't know he could throw the ball so well. I'm like, yeah, when you get there, you get to learn everything out. But the thing is, it's like a rookie all over again, because not only for himself, but for all of them. They're all learning a new offensive scheme. Seriously, that matters, though. If I play with an offensive coordinator for 3 or 4 years, compared to if it's a new thing.
Of course.
Right now, they're still learning the offense. Compared to in the offseason, when you've been with a coordinator, you're used to it.
Right. I appreciate what Shady is saying, because, again, in a video earlier that I made, some people came at me and said that I sounded like I didn't believe in Lamar. And the point that I was making is, because it is a new offense, and because he does have these new weapons at his disposal, the level of expectation is going to raise, as it should. But the point I was making in that particular video is I was trying to express how important it was that Lamar Jackson knew the offense like the back of his hand, because I knew, again, that the media would ramp up in an anti-Lamar kind of way, like they always do.
Okay, day 1, he's going to stall these plays. Okay, day 2, you know what's coming, but now these guys are still learning. You talk about having the weapons, right? Some pretty good weapons. Odell Beckham's off a knee injury.
Yep, he is.
We don't know what to expect. Hopefully he balls out and taking some more games to get comfortable. He said right now Odell is taking his time, you know, going through the motions, getting the conflicts, et cetera. Okay. You talk about Rashad Bateman. He was injured.
Hurt.
He's coming off injury. We got to see how he does. You talk about Zay Flowers. He's a rookie. And you know how it is playing as a rookie. It's hard. Am I lying?
You're not lying.
Okay, so
you're not lying.
Listen, I'm not trying to come at your point, but we got to be realistic. Like, for us to say, okay, the Ravens should win a championship right now, I don't think that's the main thing, but I don't know if that's realistic. It takes time.
I'm not even saying they should win a championship. What I'm saying is you were drafted in the NFL, much more than the NBA. You're drafted in the NFL in the first round because there's something freakazoid about you. Whether it's a running back, whether it's a quarterback, whether it's a receiver, whether it's an O-lineman, there's something freakazoid about you.
Okay.
Regular guys aren't drafted in the first round. You're ridiculously fast. You can jump ridiculously high. Look no further than Anthony Richardson, who the Colts drafted, I believe, at number 4 overall. He is not a first-round talent by his ability to just read defenses, execute the game plan, and throw the football in college. But he ran a 4.4. He jumped a 40-inch vertical. He was really big, really fast, really strong. First-round pick, top 5 overall pick. So when I look at all the talent that the Ravens have, I'm not saying that they're all dudes. Treadwell, come on now.
I'm about to say Treadwell first round. Treadwell first rounder.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're all.
Aguilar a first.
I'm not saying they're all bona fide dudes. What I'm saying, Joy, is clearly.
Now you see how quick Acho backs off his point. Now he jumps into this video, into this segment of his show, and he says, "Oh, Lamar Jackson, he has this and that, and he has 5 first rounders," and names them off. And now all of a sudden, well, I'm not saying that they all are those dudes. You see, this is how the media plays Lamar Jackson. And this is why I make videos like I make videos, and I say things to other Ravens channels and other NFL commentary channels don't say. Is because I know where the media is going to take this.
There's something special about Odell, about Nelly, about Bateman, about Zay. I can't speak to Treadwell because he has never really done anything great, but at least Aguilar's had, I think, 893 yards in a season. Clearly, there's some talent out there. I think he's out of excuses.
Don't ask the Eagles about Aguilar. Oof.
I mean,
he won a Super Bowl.
You heard they said about him, though.
Look, I think that he's out of excuses in the postseason. Lamar has done everything that he needs to do to prove what he is as a regular season success. He's an MVP, puts up crazy numbers, wins a ridiculous amount of games, has the second best winning percentage behind only Patrick Mahomes, who we all agree is the best quarterback in the league. So he's proven himself completely during the regular season. The questions that we all have about Lamar Jackson, to me, remain in the postseason. Is he capable of taking a team on a run in the postseason? Can he put together wins? Can he be healthy and available in the postseason? That's the questions, and those are the excuses that I think are off the table for Lamar Jackson at this point. I don't know what they're going to do. I agree with Shady. Like, this is a new system. It's going to take some time. Now, I think that they can put it together this year. I don't know if it has anything to do with the first round. I mean, 2016, I don't know about that, but they do have a lot of talent. They do have a lot of talent.
Correct.
He is talented. They have a Super Bowl winning coach. They changed the offensive coordinator. The excuses are coming off the table. Maybe there's no excuses anyway. He's a great.
So we're going to start right there with Joy Taylor. But Joy makes some great points. And I think that that's where the line is drawn. Not so much in the regular season, okay? But I think the excuses are done as it pertains to what happens in the postseason. All things being equal, meaning everybody's healthy for the most part, meaning the line is intact, meaning the defense is intact or mostly intact. I think that's where the rubber is going to meet the road for Lamar Jackson. So we've heard from the first 3 panelists on this subject, and it seems that Joy Taylor and Shady McCoy are in sync with their assessment of Lamar Jackson. Should he have excuses? Should he not have excuses? And also the talent base that's around him. The fact of the matter is Lamar Jackson has never made excuses. And I don't really think people have made excuses for Lamar Jackson because I don't think he would let them, meaning Lamar, I don't think he would let them make excuses. But let's listen to the last guy on this panel. Let's check out what Rick Bucher has to say.
It does sound funny. No, he's still got some excuses. Like, there's still some options for him to say. No, just the idea of saying that, which is what I'm going to say. Like, no, he's still got some. We've still got some reasons to say that they haven't given Lamar
Make them good, Slick. Make them good.
Well, let's start with the reason that we're talking about this, because it's a historical anomaly.
Sure.
The fact that they have all of these wide receivers that were first-round picks
means something to me.
Should we go back to the Detroit Lions, who were the last team to have this many first-round picks at wide receiver?
2005, I believe.
Yes.
Roy and
Do you know what their record was? It was 5-11.
Who's a quarterback?
It was Jeff Garcia. Okay, so Jeff Garcia is not Lamar Jackson.
Old Jeff Garcia.
But to Shady's point, like, do I really know? Like, you said there is something special about each one of these wide receivers. And I would say there was something special about each one of these wide receivers.
Great point by Rick Bucher. I think that's the key in what the GM was saying last week when I say this is a bottom 10 wide receiving group. You see, there was something special about each one of these guys when they were drafted in the first round. And continuing to prove or validate that specialness is what your job is. And the truth is, some of these guys just had not produced. Now, do I think Lamar Jackson can take this collection of talent and be great? Yes. Why? Because Lamar Jackson is always great. You see, so it's still back to banking on Lamar Jackson. It's still back to being about what Lamar Jackson does and doesn't do. And I get it. He's the quarterback. So it does come down to his talent and his ability and his production. But I don't want us to be fooled to think that better means great. Lamar's great. The talent is just better.
At some point. I don't know what OBJ is bringing. Aguilar,
bringing hands.
We kind of know.
Almost 2 years he hasn't played football.
Yeah, 2019.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2019. Aguilar got run out of Philly, as we know, because he couldn't hold on to the ball.
A lot of places. Yeah, right.
His catch percentage is below, career catch percentage is below 60%.
Super Bowl with nearly 900 yards. The disrespect.
When?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Like, like we talking about 2016. I moved to LA in 2016. I wasn't even living in LA when some of these guys were drafted. I think after you're in a league for a certain amount of time, where you were drafted no longer matters.
Yeah. Here's the only reason I disagree. And the only reason I disagree was because of a team favorite of the show. Who had the best defensive line in football last year?
I'm saying the Eagles.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
We can talk about who they had on their defensive line, and we can talk about when they were drafted, and we can talk about what they were coming off of. Brandon Graham had 10 plus. Remember, he was coming off an Achilles.
But what they did, though.
Brandon Graham was drafted in 2010. Oh.
See, he's made some great point because Brandon Graham came back off an injury and was continuing to ball out. And he tries to make a point and says, he was drafted in 2010. The fact of the matter is, Brandon Graham has been consistently productive. Maybe some up years, maybe some down years, but he's been consistently on the field producing. Okay? Acho continues to try to make this slick argument that Lamar Jackson is out of excuses. And he keeps trying to push Nelson Aguilar across the goal line as if he scored. The fact of the matter is, I have talked highly about Nelson Aguilar in some videos because he has been the best wide receiver in camp this offseason. But the fact of the matter is, Nelson Aguilar is in his 7th or 8th year. Stop talking about what Nelson Aguilar did in 2017 when he went for almost 900 yards. That's 1 year out of 7. You see, Acho is kind of got this anti-Lamar Jackson argument going, and the more he talks, the less his point becomes valid.
But what they are doing year after year after year. When was the last time these guys were playing at that level?
Joey, I can't let him do that.
What I do?
So you got Treadwell on there, right?
Yeah.
He's never done anything
Ever.
excellent.
I understand.
Let's move it up.
Speak to the other 4.
Aguilar. Lamar's never done anything special.
He had a 900-yard season nearly, bro. A 900-yard season.
Bro, he's never even really started. Never was like a starter.
He was a number 3 as well.
He never was a starter. And I can't we can't waste too much time talking about him.
Of course not.
Okay. Who else y'all know?
Odell.
Odell Beckham is probably one of the
last time we saw him as a Super Bowl MVP.
Only thing is it's been 2 years, almost 2 years.
That's fair.
So my thing is, if Odell comes back and he's healthy, right, I'm all for it. I think he's a great player. But we watched out Deshaun Watson. He wasn't even injured. He wasn't playing for a while.
Sure.
And we gave him some grace, some time. Okay, that wasn't him. Odell might come back. He might need some time. And then Bateman's come off an injury. You talking about guys that's been hurt or guys that never really played good in the league? Give my man Lamar some time. God dang.
Shady McCoy sounds just like the GM and the points that we have been trying to make about this wide receiving group. Yes, potential is there. Yes, talent is there, but production has not been there. Okay? And so I knew that the media would take this approach. You're going to see as we get closer to training camp, as we get closer to preseason, as we get into the season, there are going to be more and more TV talk show hosts, let's call them that, come out and make the same type of argument against Lamar Jackson. Let's be clear. Lamar Jackson is great. And he's been great despite what he's had around him. So yes, having better weapons should make him even more great. But the fact of the matter is this, it's still going to take Lamar to make this collection of talent what they need to be. Because I don't think as individuals, anybody is going to really lift Lamar to the next level. I think it's going to be him lifting them to the next level. Let me know what you guys want me to know. Is Lamar Jackson out of excuses? Is this upgrade in talent kind of a win now scenario? Or is Shady, Joy, and Bucher more right that there may still be a little bit left to do to get Lamar Jackson to the next level? I'm your guy, Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.